Hey YouTube, this is Steve from IDP Plus, and I am here for your Week 6 waiver wire video to help you guys out with this upcoming week. We've got some teams obviously on bye, we've had some injuries, and of course anything else that maybe some players that are some, diamonds out there that maybe have availability that you are unaware of. There are some players that have come back from injury that again have the ability to really help you out this week. And hopefully you guys had a victory over this past weekend. We had some great games. And again, we got some great games coming up this week. Now, before we would jump right into this, if you guys haven't already, if you want to see the full list of who I've got as far as some waiver wires, check out idpplus.com. And of course, if you're not a member yet, make sure you guys go to idpplus.com/membership and get 20% off site-wide right now. So all you have to do is use promo code PROPS. That will give you access to obviously any of the subscriptions we've got, articles. You can always check out our Discord where we help you guys out there as well if you have questions. So again, a lot of great stuff. So make sure you guys go to the website. I have a full list of all the players that I mentioned that should be picked up. Now, these are going to be 5 players that I really like this week. I want to give you guys a preview to help you guys get ready for this week. Now, there are 4 teams on a bye. You've got the Chiefs, the Dolphins, the Vikings, and the Rams. So make sure you guys are prepared for that. And of course, you got a Thursday night game and a London game as well this Sunday. So you always got to be prepared for those morning games. Now, the first player I want to mention, and we're going to kind of skip the defensive tackle. There's not a lot of great ones that are available right now. But as far as defensive end, I've got Logan Hall as a really good option to pick up this week. He's going into his 3rd year, right? And the 3rd-year pro has already matched his career performance in sacks so far this year compared to his whole career, which has been fantastic. He's got 3 sacks so far this year. In the last 2 weeks, he's had 2 sacks. And in week 5 alone, just past weekend, he had 5 quarterback hits, which is amazing. So if you are getting some points for quarterback hits, I'm sure he had a great week for you guys if he is on your roster. Now, again, this is a player that hasn't been rostered a lot. He is currently right now defensive end 16 for the season, which means if you're a roster that's got 2 defensive ends or 2 defensive linemen, he is a solid week in and week out player that should be in your lineup every single week. He's not a flashy player. He hasn't been as consistent as you would like, but the fact is he's defensive end 16 right now because he is getting sacks. He is getting to the quarterback, which is a big deal, especially in those type of scoring type of formats. Now, jumping into the linebacker spot, the number 1 linebacker I think you should really consider picking up this week is Jerome Baker for the Seattle Seahawks. Baker obviously missed the last 2 weeks, which has been devastating. And because I think he missed the last 2 weeks, his availability is actually surprisingly high. Like, I'm kind of shocked he's available in a lot of leagues that I've looked at. And again, maybe you're in a Dynasty league and you've kind of been holding off and you're super excited that he's back because he had a really good week 5 outing. And right now, he had 14 tackles this past weekend and a sack and a fumble force. So like, again, coming back from injury, he helped you guys out and had some success if you put him in your lineup. Now, some people may have forgotten about him, or again, like I mentioned, he's available in a lot of leagues, but he's a good linebacker to pick up. He obviously came from Miami where he had some great success. He comes in kind of replacing Jordan Brooks. And then of course, Bobby Wagner when he was there. And he's going to be a solid linebacker 2 with some linebacker 1 upside this season. Again, depending on the matchups and things like that. But I really love Jerome Baker. You should absolutely try to pick him up this week. Now, another linebacker I really like this week is going to be Jamen Sherwood for the New York Jets. Week 5 was a great game for Sherwood. He finished with 12 tackles total. He had a tackle for a loss. And it's been his first double-digit tackle performance so far this season. Now, he's doing a great job filling in for CJ Mosley, who has been out due to a toe injury. And as long as CJ Mosley is out, right now, Sherwood has been a fantastic and sure start every single week. Right now, he's on pace to have his first 100 tackle season. Now, we'll see how things play out. Again, this is all based off the fact that he's had increased snap counts. He's done a great job for the New York Jets, filling in for CJ Mosley. The injury to Mosley is going to be the biggest key. Keeping an eye on that will obviously play a factor, but I think if Sherwood's available, or if you've had Mosley this whole time and you didn't really figure out who to fill in, again, Jamen Sherwood is an absolute surefire. He's been a weak starter every single week. He's without a doubt having great performances for you. So again, pay attention to that injury, but Sherwood should absolutely be on your lineup. Now, going into the defensive backside, I've got Martez Mapu from the New England Patriots. Now, he's coming off of IR, and he did a really good job in week 5 coming off of IR. He's a guy that a lot of people forgot about, but he's a very smart player. He's a hybrid player for this New England team. He can be a linebacker in some formats, obviously a defensive back, but he is definitely I would say a centerpiece now for this New England Patriots. They're excited to have him back. He's like that coach on the field that I think the New England Patriots need. This is a defensive-minded team, defensive-minded head coach, and I think that's going to help play out. Now, week 5, he actually, again, had 6 total tackles. He had a pass deflection, forced fumble, so a nice little outing for his first game. And I think he could really finish as a solid high-end DB2, maybe a DB1 a few games here or there for the rest of the season as long as he is healthy. I think he's a great pickup. And the last guy I'm going to mention is Riley Moss, who I've mentioned, I think, week 1 when I started this series, is because, again, he's still available. Like, he's been fantastic for the Denver Broncos. I think part of it is because obviously everyone's afraid to throw towards Patrick Surtain. So Riley Moss has a lot of opportunities. He's gotten some great tackles. Obviously, he had his first interception of his career this past weekend, which has been fantastic as the Broncos defense played really, really well. Right now, Moss currently has 33 total tackles this season, 4 pass deflections, which, again, depending on your scoring, that's a benefit. And the fact that he's still, again, rostered in only about 4% of leagues, not sure why people are, hesitant to pick him up, because right now he is a DB8 for the season. Again, he's a DB1 almost every single week so far. Obviously, some splash plays have helped him, but again, DB8, and yet he's rostered in only 4% of leagues. So definitely somebody you want to consider grabbing. So those are my 5 players that I think you should consider grabbing this week of the NFL. Now, I will say, again, if you guys need to see more, make sure you check out the article I've got out there. I've got a lot more players there. Again, idpplus.com to help you guys out. And like I mentioned before, use promo code PROPS to get 20% off any of the subscriptions we've got going on. If you guys haven't already, make sure you guys are subscribed to this channel. Make sure you guys hit that like button while you're there. Ask questions all day long, and I'll see you guys next time.